We will not stop. We have told you it's a fact. If you look at history, I have known no great man or no great woman that didn't belong to an organization, not one. The American capitalist system will so confuse some of us that we will actually think that we by ourselves can lead the people to their freedom. There's no such thing as Rambo or Superman. It exists only in Hollywood. Fidel Castro, as bad as he is, he needs a Communist Party of Cuba to help direct Cuba. V.I. Lenin, as rough as he is, he needed a Bolshevik party. Karl Marx was a great man, had to organize the International Working Men's Association. The Honorable Marcus Garvey saw clear and long, but he needed the Universal Negro Improvement Association of the African Community Leagues. Patrice Lumumba was a great man, he needed organization. Harriet Tubman was a rough sister, she needed organization. Rosa Parks sat down so we can get up, she needed organization. Malcolm X so loved organization that when he left the Nation of Islam, he created two organizations, the Muslim Mosque Incorporated for Muslims and the African American Organization, spotted after the Organization of African Unity. Everywhere you will see the need for organization. Martin Luther King was a righteous man, but even he recognized the need for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And while Nelson Mandela is known all over the world, he still has the African National Congress. Every brother or sister who truly seeks to advance the world must belong to an organization.
How you doing, everyone? We at WCC, we bring you greeting from this organization, We Charge Colonialism. We are an organization trying to recognize the issue of African people internationally and locally and bring it to light. So we believe that the United States and her allies are still colonizing African nations or other nations around the world. But within this video, we're going to focus on an issue affecting black people locally within the United States. So we believe that the United States government is still locally colonizing African within this country that we call internal colonization. So, like I said, if you want to be a member of this organization, first of all, we say thank you for following us, for liking our video, for sharing our video. But if you want to know more about this organization, please go on our website, WeChargeColonialism.com. You will see our information, our mission statement, our goal. If you also want to become a member, you can send an email on WeChargeColonialism@gmail.com. We will get it, and we will be in a very good position to get back to you. We are very good at communication. We are very good at getting to people as soon as possible in the very timely manner. So, not to waste time, I will be giving a few quotes from some of our leaders that came before us or that just left us, what they said about organization and the importance of organization, because they also realize that the forces that are against us also succeed or are also succeeding because they are organized. They are part of an organization. And they may be in different organizations or different institutions, but at the end of the day, when it comes to their interest, they all put their interest in one basket, like the African parable say. So a quote from Kwame Nkrumah, he said that in order to gain our freedom, in order to gain our dignity, we cannot sleep on the imperialists, or we cannot sleep on the colonialists, or we cannot sleep on the neo-colonialists, or we cannot sleep on the Zionists. Why? Because these people are never asleep when it comes to us. That is one quote from him, and which also means the only way we can succeed, or we will succeed, we have to be member of an organization. We have to be member of any organization, and those organizations that we will be member of, we should also speak when it comes to our interest. Nelson Mandela, when he was alive, when he was going through the struggle, he also said, or he did not tell us that when he died, then our struggle have ended. When he died, then which means we have gotten our freedom. But instead he said, when I die, the struggle continue, which also means when I die, Do not lead the organization. Be part of an organization. You may not be part of the ANC, but also be part of other organizations like the EFF. Today we can see in South Africa. And that is why, like Julia Malema said, we are not Nelson Mandela, because nobody don't want for us to think that everything is okay. So if you try to talk about the struggle of black people, they always bring in about Nelson Mandela, what Nelson Mandela said we should be or united. I mean, we are not saying we shouldn't be united, but at the end of the day, if you cannot recognize the struggle of black people, then don't come to us and tell us what Nelson Mandela said. So the only way you will come to us to tell about Nelson Mandela if you recognize the issue facing black people. And that is why Julia Malema said, this generation is not Nelson Mandela. Of course, although we understand Nelson Mandela and we celebrate Nelson Mandela, we honor Nelson Mandela, but our struggle going to be different from Nelson. Let's say our revolutionary struggle movement or tactics is going to be different from Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela did what he needed to do at that time, because in every revolution, thing changes. So Nelson Mandela did what he needed to do at that time to get some sort of freedom. So now where he have left, we are going to pick up from there, but the revolution is going to be different. So like Dr. King as well. So Dr. King did not tell us when he died, then our freedom began, or when he died, then which means our struggle have ended. But still he said when he died, because at some point he knew he was going to be assassinated, because he also know about history that one who come out to stand against the imperial forces or the oppressor, or one who come to stand to speak for black people, you will be seen in the eyes of the oppressor, of the Zionists, of the neo-colonialists as an enemy. So they will always come against you to take you down. So he knew that he was going to be assassinated in some other way. So in his interpretation of joining an organization, he said when he died, we should continue the movement. Do not stop with the movement. Continue with the movement. Continue with the struggle. When I die, you live to continue until we are free. And until we are free also means because he was born in a struggle. In the same way, we are also born in the struggle that he was born in. So although he's there, but he's still part of us. He's still part of the struggle, because we will still mention him as we are still carrying on the struggle. So he's with us because it is through his spirit. It is through their spirit. It is through their courage that we are also inspired to carry on the struggle until we win. So they are still with us. So when he said until we win, which also means their spirit is still with us. Like Marco Garvey also said that one who, and he also interpreted that, he said one who does not know his or her history is like a huge tree standing by the bank of a river without no branches, or without no branch. That also means we should be part of an organization. So if we are not part of an organization, we will never know that our freedom lies within our hands, because he was also trying to tell us that the one who oppress you, the one who enslave you, the one who colonize you will never give you freedom, because to him, you being oppressed bring him joy. So why would he want to give you your freedom and then then he take his joy away, and he take his wealth away, he take his pride, his dignity away. So he's not going to give up freedom. And Malcolm X also explained that by saying, never ask a man for your freedom. Your freedom lies within your hand. So what that also means, he was also trying to tell us that we should organize, join an organization. So you also listen to the video where Kwame Ture said, he called all those people named, all those people that came before us, they was part of an organization. So now, what am I driving at? The only reason why the European succeeded in colonizing Africa was because they were in an organization that they sat down for 6 months to plan on how to divide Africa. So they knew that the only way they can succeed on the African continent was to divide the African people, was to separate them. So if you separate them, you can win them, you can conquer them. So if we remain a divided people, a divided race, we will always be the race that will be defeated, that will be conquered. So do you understand the point that we are trying to make here? The only way we can succeed is we have to be part of an institution, part of an organization. Now, what am I driving at as well? This is the election period within the United States. Well, we can also look at it from a very broad perspective. Now, whenever celebrity come to talk about the struggle or the issues affecting black people, right? What do the non-black says to those celebrity? This is not sports. This is politics. Leave it with the lawmaker. Leave it with the people in power. Leave it with the representatives. Leave it with the senators. Leave it with the government. Leave it because the police are doing their job. Leave it with the law enforcement. They are doing a job. This is not your job. You are not a politician, right? Then why during election time they will go to this C celebrity, to this C entertainer, black celebrity, black athlete, to come to beg us to go and vote for this same lawmaker, for this same representative, for these same senators, for these leaders, or for these people who want to become president? Why would they come to us? Why these lawmakers can't come to us? And then they come to us, and then these celebrities will come to us. They will go to them, and then these celebrities will come to us, tell us to go and vote for these people, that they will recognize our problem, they will solve our problem, right? But when we vote for these people, do these people solve our problem? When we go to them, do they look up? Do they look out to our problem? Or they call us names? And then when these same black people, at least, or entertainer, when we tell to them, like, you guys still ought to vote for these people, and these are the things that we're going through. And when these people go to speak for us, sometimes they lose their job, or sometimes they don't even want to go to speak because they're afraid that they will lose their job and they will be putting their family in jeopardy. So what am I saying here, folks? Like African Esquire said in the video, the only way we can succeed is to join an organization, to join an institution. And then when these lawmakers come to us looking for their job, for us to vote for them, we give to them what we want. And if they can do what we want, the next time they're not going to come to us. Even if they come to us for votes, they are not going to get it. So what we can tell these black celebrity, let them sponsor our organization. Not only this organization, but let them sponsor black organization. Let them put the money in black organization, and we will do the work instead of us going to them. So you gotta mobilize, you gotta fund an organization. That's the only way we can win the forces that are against us. That's the only way we can march to Washington, D.C. That's the only way we can get to the United States government and bring these charges against them. Join an organization. That's the only way we can win. The messages have been passed on to us by our forefathers, by those who came before us, and some of those that just left us 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It's not long. They just left us, and they left us with these messages. And the message here is organize, organize, organize. Come together, come together, come together. Do not kill the movement. So if you see your brother, if you see your sister talking about the situation affecting black people, I think the best thing to do is to join our sister, to join our brother, to join our organization, instead of you coming out with some negative statement. Because at the end of the day, the forces that are against us, they are one. They are not separated. They are not divided. So in order to see some dignity, some answer to black people in this country, we have to come together as one. You have to be part of an organization. So folks, this is it. I don't want to make the video too long, but the message here is be part of an organization. The African parable says, one tree cannot make a forest. It takes many trees to make a forest. One tree cannot make a forest. It takes many trees to make a forest. Many trees and many grass or grasses. As though other trees are dying, the younger one are coming out. So it takes many trees to make a forest. And those trees as well, when they bear fruits and those fruit drop and they germinate and make forest. So one tree cannot make a forest, right? One tree cannot produce seeds to make a forest. So it takes many trees with seeds, with fruit to make a forest. So in order for us to win, we have to join an organization. Brothers and sisters, the message is simple. Join an organization. It don't have to be WCC, but any organization, join an organization and teach the younger one that are coming about the organization, about the struggle. So that's the message. Thank you for listening to our video, and continue watching, continue listening, continue to share.